This video is being prepared for an art exhibit being held in Greenbelt, Maryland on May 1st, Sunday, open to the public between 1 and 4 o'clock. And we were asked to provide one painting each, but that's at the show, and I'm taking this opportunity to show a few other pieces because with 55 years worth of art, my styles, as you can see, have changed, and one painting would not show what I've done at all. So with that, I'll begin. This painting, it was 1971, and I started out with it as a still life with realistic depictions. The apples are somewhat realistically done, and the bottles and all were I was going to do those realistic also, but in this time frame there was a craft going on called decoupage, and I decided to do the bottles in the style of the decoupage with color, and I was satisfied with it because it turned out to be more interesting and more colorful than if it had been realistic. A little side story, I had this down in Washington one time, and the title of this painting was A Still Life with Apples and Bottles. But the day that this painting was down in Washington, we were out on the mall near the Lincoln Memorial, and this young woman ran up the hill and grabbed the painting, and I thought she was going to run away with it. And her husband was not as thrilled, and so I thought I had a sale, and it was like, oh, great. So anyway, she put it back down, and she went down the hill, and she was disappointed. So I changed the name of this painting. It's no longer Still Life with Apples and Bottles. The title of this painting now is Almost Sold. This painting's older than this one. This was done in 1968. And the title of it is Impulse, and I'll explain that in a minute. It started out that I had this canvas and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And after many days of puzzling about what was I going to paint, I was sitting in front of it one evening, and the frustration was building up. It was as if the canvas was taunting me. And around midnight, I finally decided to just put some paint on the palette and put some paint on the canvas and something will come. And so it was midnight, it was dark, so I started with this black here because it was nighttime, and I'm a big person for color. So I got some bright colors in, and I started that, and before I knew it, I got excited about it. I liked what was coming, and I moved across the canvas, and from each area you can see there's a lot of motion and all excitement, but once in a while it slowed down. Like this area here is very passive, and that's because those were times when while I was painting that I ran out of steam. It was late at night, but it would pick up again, the passion of it. And so this is what I came up with, and essentially this painting is a pictorial version of emotion. It's not a picture of anything. There's no animals or people or anything. It's strictly non-descriptive, just color and emotion. So the name of the painting is Impulse. This last painting I did in 2008, so it's considerably newer. And this started out actually as nothing more than a doodle. I was sitting and I was thinking about various things, and just the hand was doing some lines and stuff. And I looked at it, and it reminded me of an art exercise from when I was in elementary school. I had a fabulous art teacher in elementary school that he taught us things in art that we would have had to wait until we were in high school to learn. And perception and that type of thing, and highs and lows and all. And when I looked at it, I saw this curly thing, and the exercise he gave us back in 1960-61 was what looked like highway overpasses or underpasses. And that was to teach us shadows and high areas and light and dark areas and all. And I took the doodle and I just added a little bit to it, and I came up with this. And so it's a remembrance of my art teacher from 1960-61, John May. And you can see that the dark areas go underneath. So it's underneath. The lighter areas where the sunlight hits better are the overpasses and the light is brighter. And this is what I came up with. And so that's what it is. It's nothing more than a remembrance of an art class.